All right. Hi, One Day's Wages community. We're so excited to answer our first question in the Did You Know series that we're running in our monthly newsletter. One of the questions we get often, and rightly so, is how do we choose the partners that we work with around the world? How do we find them? And how do we choose who to work with and who to support through our giving community? So Daphne is joining us today. She's our Global Impact Director, and Daphne gets to work directly with our global partners, which is just such a cool role. So I've asked Daphne to take this question today. So, Daphne, how do you choose who we work with at One Day's Wages and how our community is supporting them?
Yeah, it's a great question. Um, when we have available funding to bring in new partners, we have a form on our website that people can fill out to express interest. So we know that asking for funding and requesting partnership can take a lot of organizations' time. So
Mm-hmm.
what we do at the beginning is we invite prospective partners to just share a big picture of their organization, the project that they would like support with. They fill out an online form that's available on our website. And then our grants team processes that information. And the first step is really just looking at what they've shared and comparing it to our basic criteria. So, for example, we partner with organizations that are founded and led by people from within the community they're serving and have lived experience of the issues that they're addressing. So we're looking for organizations that meet that criteria. We also look at things like audited financial statements and their organizational budgets. We ask for things like references from past partners. All of these things help us understand kind of the legitimacy of the organization and how they're registered and the country they're operating in. So we're looking for some of those logistical things. And at the same time, we're looking for some more of the intangible things that have to do with value alignment. So, if you've been in the One Day's Wages community for a while, you know that we're a very value driven organization. We believe that the way we partner is profoundly important, and the way that people are part of this community is just as important as something like how where funding goes for a particular project activity.
Yeah.
So, once we've determined that an organization meets some of those basic criteria, we invite shortlisted organizations to submit a full grant application to us. And we only do that once we feel pretty confident in the
Great.
organization, just
Yeah.
because we don't want to add to their workload.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so yeah, then after they submit a full application to us, we spend probably at least 6 weeks
Yeah.
reviewing all their materials. Our team goes back and forth asking questions by email or phone to clarify the strategy of their program and the ways in which the community members they're working with are contributing
Mm.
to the development of this particular project, contributing their own ideas and resources to make this happen. Um,
Awesome.
and so once we kind of get to the end of that process, we have a grants advisory committee
Mhm.
that just provides an additional set of eyes and helps us make that final decision of who to partner with.
That's
So
awesome. That's a lot of steps, but really
it
important
is.
steps. So then by
Yeah.
the time we get to the point where we get to say yes to a partner, we have full confidence then to bring that opportunity to our giving community for full funding,
Yeah.
to be able to say, hey, we want to walk alongside. So we've made a little bit of a transition in the
Yes.
last couple of years. Our history has been maybe a little bit it's been a little bit stronger towards 1 year partnerships. We've
Mhm.
changed that recently. Can you tell us
Yeah.
our giving community a little bit about where we're at now as far as how we walk alongside our partners?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as we've thought through how we want to partner well, we recognize that the ideal for a lot of these organizations is just having consistent funding coming in year over year.
Yeah.
Our mission is alleviating extreme poverty. That can't be done in 1 year.
Yeah.
And so we're leaning into this idea of multi-year partnerships where after we've identified a partner that's really mission and value aligned, we do an initial 1 year partnership with them to see how it goes.
Mhm.
And then for those that continue to be a really good fit, we see um, just a spirit of mutuality in our partnership where we're learning from one another. Our partners are invited to participate in quarterly learning opportunities. Um, so and then of course we're looking at the impact of the project and the
Right.
way that the people involved in it have experienced changes in their life as a result of whatever the intervention was.
Mhm.
So we invite those partners that continue to be a great fit with our mission and values to basically submit an application for multi-year partnership. So that's what we're really leaning into this year. We have so many phenomenal past partners that
Mhm.
really need continued support. Some of them are working in incredibly complex
Yeah.
situations, areas affected by like prolonged crises, by conflict and displacement,
Yeah.
by the impacts of climate change. So like
Mm.
more frequent flooding or drought than they've ever had in past years. They're
Hmm.
partners that really need people to come alongside them and say, "Hey, we're in this with you for the
Yeah.
long haul, not just for 1 year at a time." So that's what we're really leaning into this year, and it's been such a joy to get to know our partners better that way too. They're
Oh,
people whose
that's awesome.
stories we're better understanding,
Mhm.
and it feels like a true partnership. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mutuality there in a really
Mhm,
fresh
mhm,
way. Yeah.
mhm.
That's awesome. Daphne, thank you so much for walking us through the question for our Did You Know series. How do we choose our partners? We could talk about this all day because we both are so passionate about it, but we'll leave it there for now. Hopefully, members of our community are going to ask more questions and we can unpack this even more next month in our next newsletter. So
Yes.
thank you
We
all
love
for,
question.
yes, we love questions. We love talking about the work. So thank you. Keep those questions going and have a wonderful rest of your day.